recently got hooked on the FromSoft games, and after playing Elden Ring, Bloodborne, and Demon's Souls, I wanted to give Sekiro a go. So I checked Steam, expecting it to be $30, maybe $40, but sure enough, this 4-year-old game still costs just as much as it did the day it came out. How's that possible? As consumers, we expect older products to decrease in price once a newer version comes out, like how the PS4's price dropped after the release of the PS5. So even though older games aren't necessarily worth less or worse than new games, like many other products, they depreciate in value over time as people play them and new options become available. So I was expecting that the price of Sekiro would have dropped after the release of Elden Ring, but it hasn't. But it also has. Let me explain. Based on price history data, we can see that Sekiro has been on sale for 50% off a little over 20% of the past year, or about 90 days, with an average of around only 50 days between each sale. Meaning that if you're willing to wait for a sale, you can actually pretty consistently get Sekiro for only $30 instead of the listed $60. And I'd be willing to wager that most people buying the game now are buying it on sale. And this is really common across the industry. For example, Call of Duty Ghosts, a not so great game released in 2013, is still listed at $60, but since 2015 has been on sale at least 3 times a year for around 66% off. Also, some games I'm sure everyone's seen on sale, 2019's Borderlands 3 and 2012's Borderlands 2, are listed at $60 and $20 respectively, but over the last 2 years have both been on sale for 75% off, a little over 40% of the time, or around 145 days a year, with an average of only a little under 25 days between each sale. So then if these games are on sale all the time, why wouldn't they just reduce the list price to begin with? Well, for gaming companies, there's a few big advantages to keeping prices high. First is that even if the game's only actually worth half the original price, being able to say that the game's on sale and show a big 50% off makes it more attractive to customers because they think they're getting a better deal, even if they really aren't. These types of sales make us think we're getting something worth $60 for only $30, and so we believe that we're getting a better deal than if we were to just buy a game for a normal selling price of $30, even though, in reality, they may be worth exactly the same. This is actually a common sales tactic across all kinds of industries, not just gaming. Just think about any clothing store that seemingly always has a big sale sign in the window. Is there actually a sale going on, or is it a trick to make you think there's a deal? It's been proven that when presenting something as on sale versus an everyday low price, even if both items cost exactly the same amount, the item on sale is going to sell more than the everyday low price item, due to how the sale's framed in our minds. Most game sales are also time limited, and only having a few weeks or days to get the discounts creates a sense of urgency and triggers that fear of missing out feeling that causes people to impulse buy. And so, for many, because the game's on sale now and may not be tomorrow, even if you don't really want the game or are on the fence about it, you may end up buying it regardless because you don't want to miss out on the opportunity. Another plus for games companies is our impatience. Some people may not want to wait for a sale and be willing to pay full price so that they can play the game right away. And even though sales will be lower when the game's not actually on sale, keeping the prices high for even a short amount of time is a win-win for companies. Think about a time when your buddies were playing a game like Borderlands and invited you to play. You may be pressured into buying the game now instead of waiting for a sale so that you can play through the game with your friends, even though you know that the game's going to be on sale within a month. Finally, keeping prices high gives companies a ton of flexibility. If the game has a spike in popularity, they can reduce the discounts or not offer them at all. Like how after the release of Elden Ring, Dark Souls 3 hasn't had any sales on Steam, and discounts on other platforms haven't been as deep as in the past due to the increased interest in the franchise. That now leaves us with the elephant in the room, Nintendo. It's fairly well known that Nintendo games almost never go on sale and never see price reductions after launch. So what makes them different? Well, Nintendo almost uses an opposite strategy to other games companies. Never putting their games on sale means that customers will know not to wait for a sale and be more likely to buy their games at full price. Nintendo's also cultivated such a huge fan base and developed incredibly popular franchises like Mario, Pokemon, and Zelda that have essentially no alternatives, meaning that people are going to buy their games no matter the cost. A great measure of this is that over half the people that own a Switch have bought Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, and Mario Kart 8, meaning that most people buying a Switch are buying them to play these games. And so Nintendo really has no incentive to put their games on sale when people are just going to be buying them anyways. Not only does Nintendo have a bunch of loyal fans, they also can target a different demographic than other games companies. Lots of people buying Nintendo games are parents who may not be familiar with the gaming industry, but know that Nintendo is a high quality, reputable, and family friendly brand that they can trust. These customers are normally less price conscious than the typical gamer and care more about getting a family friendly product for their kids. All that to say that Nintendo doesn't put their games on sale because they don't have to. So what can we gain from knowing all these sales tactics? Well, if you're willing to be patient, wait. Most games eventually go on sale. Even Nintendo sometimes offers small discounts on their games, and most other games over a year old pretty consistently go on sale at least once a year. You can even take a pretty good guess at when games are going to be on sale based on price history. Also, knowing these sales tactics makes you more conscious of how companies target you and make it less likely that you'll fall for them. Thanks for watching.